10 years ago, we had LinuxCon in Toronto, and it was the 25th anniversary of Linux. And so we did, much more than we'd ever done for this event previously. Just, it's a huge milestone. This is such an important technology, and it's 25 years old. We've got to go all out, right? And so our events team did a fantastic job of organizing everything. And I just remember evening event there, we had this just insane.
Welcome, Dan. I'm super excited to have you on the podcast today. You've been driving the development and direction of events as a stakeholder for several years now. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about your background?
Sure, I'm happy to be here, Tim. So I am a marketing and communications director currently at the Linux Foundation. I say currently, it's been about 12 years that I've been here, but my background is largely in public relations, all in the tech sector for over 2 decades now. So in terms of what that means for events, I've done everything from being a basic attendee to working on trade show booths to helping organize full events or running marketing of events, strategy of events. Um, so, yeah, kind of approaching it from a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah, pretty much every angle you could come at it from. So, which is a great segue. Did you say you had a PR background also?
Yes, yeah. So that's where I started my career, was PR agency side, and then I actually went from agency life and worked for a few years for an event production company that runs a lot of large tech conferences, like RSA conference, VMworld back when that still existed, and some others. And so in that role, I was doing marketing for these events, but very much on the
Mm-hmm.
organization side, rather than for the organization that was, the host of the event. We were the ones putting the event on for them. And
Okay.
so I did that for a few years before kind of went the quote unquote in-house route here at the Linux Foundation, where we run hundreds of events all
Mm-hmm.
over the world every year. And for a while, I was actually head of marketing for LF events. Um, and so I oversaw everything from getting press on site to doing all of the campaigns to get attendees on site. But nowadays, I'm more focused on a few specific projects. And so, they have their own events, but it's much, much
Mm-hmm.
more discrete, distinct audiences that I'm working with, and, on much more specific technologies rather than the whole ball of wax.
Right. Like you and I have worked together on LF events or LF energy.
Mhm. Yes, that's one of
And then,
them. We've got our next summit coming up later this year.
yeah. Um, what are some of the other projects that you're working with?
So I also work on Decentralized Trust, which
Mm.
formerly Hyperledger. So a lot of kind of blockchain, not just blockchain, it's much more than that now, technologies. Confidential computing,
Mm.
where the Linux Foundation recently took over Confidential Computing Summit. And so I've been working with the Confidential Computing Consortium for a couple years now, but now we'll be working more closely on that event. Amongst others, I also do a lot with Linux Foundation Europe, which runs some
Oh
some
yeah.
smaller policy-focused events focused on the European market, and all of the big topics that are folks in Europe care about in terms of open source technology.
So will you be at the upcoming confidential computing event?
I will not be there in person. No.
Mm. Looks like a fun venue, the Mint.
Yes, yes. I know we've done a number of events there over the years, but I have never actually been myself.
Yeah, this will be a first for me also. Um, well, hey, uh, if if you had to pick a conference, uh, which one would be your favorite?
Oh, like It's so hard to say. Like, I have so many memories of different events
Mm.
over the years. Like, I think back to, one of my favorites would have to be, now it's called Open Source Summit, but it used to be LinuxCon.
Mhm.
And I remember, I mean, I've already dated myself, so it doesn't matter. But 10 years ago, we had LinuxCon in Toronto, and it was the 25th anniversary of Linux. And
Mm.
so we did, much more than we'd ever done for this event previously. Just, it's a huge milestone. This is such an important technology and it's 25 years old. You got to go all out, right? And so our events team did a fantastic job of organizing everything. And I just remember the evening event there, we had this just insane black tie. Like, that's not, you've been to a lot of these events, Tim. You
Yeah,
know that that's not the
that is not the
dress
norm.
code. But we had folks in, full on tuxedos and a casino theme.
Oh,
Since it was in
wow.
Canada, out on the terrace, we actually had folks, they brought in people who were hand rolling Cuban cigars
Oh, no way.
to smoke right there.
That's
Um,
killer.
Yes, just such an awesome job that the events team did putting that together, and a really, really memorable evening for me, and I imagine everyone else who was there, between the speeches and you know, the gambling, it wasn't real money, but,
Mhm, right?
um, card tables and the cigars on the terrace. It was a really cool experience. But, sometimes the little events are great too.
Mhm.
Sometimes just the really small ones. One of our members for LF Energy put on an event last year in Lyon, France, at their facility, and it was like 40 people, but such a nice, cute little facility on the outskirts of Lyon, beautiful campus with like a stream going through it.
Oh,
And,
wow.
when you get these smaller groups together, you can really like get to know
Mm.
everyone and really address topics more directly,
Mhm.
and just dig into things as opposed to, some of these 10,000 person events where you do
Right.
your best not to make it feel impersonal, but it's bound to, right?
Yeah. Scale comes with some, yeah, just it's hard to make that feel super personable.
Exactly.
Um, so with your marketing background, how are you using, the content that we're capturing at the events to drive the marketing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so important. The video it has multiple benefits. One, it brings in better speakers because they
Mm.
know that they're going to get their profile out there more, not just to the people to the 500 or 5,000 people who are there who might go to their session,
Right.
but that it can be reused and that it'll get spread further out. And that's what we do as marketers after the event. We're turning this content, especially now, and it's a lot easier with AI tools. We can turn this
Mhm.
content into written content as well. So you can take the video transcripts, put summaries together really easily, and make
Mm.
that into a blog. And then you embed the original video there too. But that's a great way to make it more findable because search engines
Mhm.
and AI engines can pick that up, and then drive more people to the video. Um, and then, of course, we also just use these videos to get the word out more about the projects that we're supporting in the open source space. So, for instance, we'll have a great case study that's presented at
Oh,
LF
yeah.
Energy Summit, for instance, where you get the vendor together with the end user. And in that case, it'll be an electrical utility, and they're talking about how they work together and how they rolled this open source tool out and how it's improved their service for their customers, for the people who are using their electricity. And for us, that's just an insanely valuable asset to have that we
Right.
can go and show off to. potential members or others who might be interested in using that type of technology have similar challenges. And when they can hear it from a peer,
Mhm.
it makes it that much more real for them. Um, and you can write these case studies too, and that's also a great asset. But as I'm sure you know, people are very visual and auditory learners,
Mm.
and
Right.
it's so much more easily digestible. And I mean, there are many other ways we use these videos too. You chop them up into like the short sound bites, and you can push that out on social, where folks
Mhm.
have shorter attention spans and don't want to watch a whole 30-minute session.
Right.
Um, but you still get the same value out of it.
Yeah, yeah. And plus you can, like I hadn't thought about the case studies, but that's an easy springboard into case studies whenever you get um, 2 partner groups presenting together. It's like, wow, there's some synergy there.
Mhm.
We should take that farther.
Exactly. Yeah, and it shows value for both the end users, but also for the vendors. It's like, oh, we use this open source tool and we built a business off of it. And look, we've made money.
Right. Yeah, open source is amazing. Just because it seriously runs the world. Like video is totally driven off of FFmpeg, which is open source and just amazing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't work personally with the Academy Software Foundation, which is one of the Linux Foundation's projects,
Mm.
with literally the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. But
Yes.
all the tools for all these special effects and stuff that are being used today, they're open source.
Yeah, that's true. That's good stuff. Um, well, hey, that's pretty much it for me. I know this has been kind of short, but is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, it's just always great to see you, Tim. And, I hope that
Yes.
our paths will be crossing at some event somewhere in the world soon.
Yeah, hopefully. No doubt they will. Well, hey, thank you.
Thank you for having me on.